You know, we always say whenever the topic of Disney live action remakes of classic animation comes up, is that Disney is very hit and miss. All right? They're very hit and miss. Because, you know, you get Maleficent, which I didn't like all that much. Beauty and the Beast, which some people like and some people didn't like. You know, a number of these things. However, on the other hand, you got Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella, which I really loved. And I really liked Guy Ritchie's Aladdin. And if you watched our show for any period of time, you know that I love Guy Ritchie. But I thought that was a very obvious mismatch. I just couldn't see Guy Ritchie of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. And I just couldn't see him directing Aladdin. And a lot of people saw Will Smith casted. Well, let's face it, a lot of people were never going to be happy no matter who they cast as the genie because it's not Robin Williams. And that's understandable. But a lot of people were kind of iffy on that. And I was a little iffy on it too. I'll tell you what, I loved this movie. Ann and I remember the first time we watched it, Ann and I came out of the theater. We were still living in Burbank at the time and walking back to our house from the theater and like just chatting and giggling and singing the songs and all that kind of stuff. And I think we went back to the theater like 4 times to go see it. I know it's not as good as the original, but I loved it. And guess what? It joined the $1 billion club. That movie joined the $1 billion club. And so everybody was like, well, you know they're going to make a sequel, and it ain't going to be The Return of Jafar. But there's going to be a sequel, probably. Now, then the Oscars of 2022 happened, and the slap happened. And I ain't talking about dope beats. I mean, the literal slap happened when Will Smith took it on stage, did the stupidest thing of his career, and decided to make a public ass of himself and humiliate himself and disgrace his legacy. And that threw Aladdin 2 into question about whether it would happen. But there was also questions about other Will Smith projects, right? There was questions about, are they ever going to make another Bad Boys again after the success of Bad Boys 3? Well, guess what? They are making Bad Boys 4. And Apple TV Plus did put out Emancipation. Wasn't all that good, but they put it out. Actually, it's not that good, but Will Smith was really good in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always good. I mean,
Bad Boys, I mean, I would think that what Will Smith did is advertising for Bad Boys.
I mean, it kind of is.
They should just call it Batter Boys.
In the business, Rob, they call that to brand.
There you go.
It's to brand. So it's all to brand. Now, a couple weeks ago, director Guy Ritchie, when asked about the idea of them doing another, the possibility of doing another one, he said, yeah, listen, I've actually got a lot of ideas. We're developing some ideas, and he talked at length about it. It's like, yeah, I still want to do an Aladdin 2. And I'll go on record right now. I want to see an Aladdin 2. I loved the charm of Will Smith in it. I thought Mena Massoud was great in it. I thought the whole cast had terrific chemistry together. I thought it felt fun and light and wonderful, and I would love to see more of it. I really, really would. So with Guy Ritchie a couple of weeks ago saying, yeah, I still got all these ideas and blah, blah, blah. Well, Mena Massoud said, hold my beer, went into his closet, where he's got a big tub of water, and withdrew his giant wet blanket and decided to throw it all over us. Because when Mena Massoud was asked on Twitter directly by a fan, are we still getting Aladdin 2? Mena Massoud just simply and directly said, very unlikely at this point. Very unlikely at this point. Which, I'm not going to lie to you, bums me out. Because I want to see this. By the way, where the hell is Mena Massoud? This guy was great in Aladdin. He should be getting more roles, and not in that stupid direct-to-home video streaming thing he did with the girl from Riverdale. He did like one of the worst films of the year, some little rom-com thing on Riverdale. Anyway, that being said, this bums me out. And, you know, my first thought was, why on earth, and Rob, I need to know what you think about this, because my first thought was, why on earth would Guy Ritchie, when asked just a couple weeks ago, and saying, hey, listen, we're pitching around ideas, we got thoughts, and like he said, I had a blast making that movie. I definitely would like to do another one, all that kind of stuff. How do we go from that to the star of the movie saying very unlikely at this point? My one big thought is this, and I could be a billion times wrong. What what has happened between a few weeks ago when Guy Ritchie made that statement and when Mina Massoud just made this tweet? Chris Rock put out a Netflix comedy special where if you kind of felt over the past year, the whole Will Smith thing settling down, listen, as far as I'm concerned, Will Smith has paid the price for the stupid thing he did. He was globally humiliated. It has cost him millions and millions of dollars. It has tarnished his reputation. It shouldn't be a life sentence. The guy should be allowed to now come back and do work. He paid the price. He paid the price. But if you've kind of thought that maybe the thing was starting to settle down, you know, they've announced Bad Boys, maybe the comeback can now start. And then Chris Rock's special drops where he eviscerates Will Smith. And people loved it. And again, I don't know that this has anything to do with it. I just, for my own rationale, looking at this, I'm like, what's happened since Guy Ritchie said, yeah, maybe it looks good, to Mina Massoud saying, no, it doesn't look good. Anyway, Rob, you read what Mina Massoud said. First of all, what did you even think about the first Aladdin? Would you be looking forward to a second one? Have you thought they would do a second one? And where do you put things now?
Well, first of all, I thought Guy Ritchie's Aladdin was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that I'm like, how do you follow up Robin Williams? I mean, I don't, you know, and I thought Will Smith was great as the genie. I thought the whole cast was great. And that movie just puts a smile on your face. It should have earned $1 billion. It deserved it. And it was talking about a 4-quadrant smash hit. Everything about that movie was delightful. And I would like you. I mean, come on. You look at this picture, it makes you smile.
That's great. He resisted the temptation to do a Robin Williams impersonation.
Absolutely.
Made it his own and still yet throughout it paid a lot of homage to Robin Williams in it, which I love.
Which I love too. And I thought it's a great film. It made $1 billion. We've talked about Bob Iger. He's looking at, well, this movie made $1 billion. You get a sequel and you get a sequel and you get a sequel. But this Will Smith thing for Disney, it's problematic. I mean, I completely understand where they're coming from. And you know, the Chris Rock special, he went hard on Will Smith. I mean, that was, like you said, evisceration might even be too not strong enough, because he drew and quartered Will Smith in that special. I mean, it was, but you know what? Will Smith brought someone else outside into this drama. And Chris Rock, he stayed quiet. He didn't respond until the special. And he did it in a way that I thought was deserved. He needed to speak his truth.
Yeah.
He needed to get out there, and he said it, and it was, whoo, boy, and it was rough. But I think it was a long time coming. But I think you might be right, because he also contextualized it all in a very different way and brought up their family and their situation and a lot of other unsavory aspects to this whole thing that might have been the cause of it all in the first place. And I was like, whoa. But I still think, look, we live in a gotcha society now where everyone wants to go run and tell on somebody else. You know, like, ooh, this person didn't get somebody in trouble. It's kind of gross. But I would hope that we also have to, we need forgiveness. And I think that, you know, Will Smith, like you said, has paid a price, a pretty steep price, probably a very expensive price, more than we even know. And I like Will Smith, and he's done a lot of good, I think, in the world. And of course, it's silly when you start talking about celebrities, but he's had a great career that I think he's managed well. And I love him as a performer. You know, I've been watching him for almost 30 years now. I like Parents Just Don't Understand. I love DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Hey, Summertime is still my summer anthem. That's still my.
It's still ringing in Chris Rock's head. Well, my take on it is, look, it's between them now.
Yeah,
this whole thing is between them, right? Let them have their careers. I'm kind of with you. Just let's move on from it. You know what I mean? But I do have a theory. If there is something to go off of what you're saying, that happened on ABC. Disney owns ABC. You know, Bob Iger has a front and center seat at the Academy Awards because of that reason. So who knows? But
it's more than that too. Think about this. Like, while I believe like we need to let Will Smith move on with his career, well, that's I'm saying that as a fan, not as a business partner.
Right.
Because if you are Disney, look, you were talking, you so accurately pointed out, Bad Boys, totally on brand. Right?
Yes.
Aladdin is a Disney family film. And it could be problematic if you're Disney to say, can we make this joyous, innocent family film with the guy who just broke the law, stormed on stage at a televised event and physically assaulted somebody. And if you thought it was dying down, the guy he assaulted just put it right front and center of it of the public attention again. So while on the one hand, I'm like, let Will Smith continue his career. On the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but if I'm a business guy, is doing another Aladdin with that guy good business right now? It's not personal about Will Smith. It's a business decision. I don't know if it's the right business decision. Whereas Bad Boys very well could be the right business decision.
Right.
So I don't know. Actually, I've been dying out because Taylor, I don't know. I've never asked Taylor if he liked the Aladdin movie. Would you want another Aladdin movie?
Ooh, you can see my legs. I went into it very skeptical because I think Aladdin is like the animated one is one of my top 3 animated Disney films of all time. Probably second only to maybe Peter Pan. This movie, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was so fun.
Hey, John, make sure you turn off the audio on that camera. Yeah.
Ooh, did I have the echo of God again? But I really enjoyed that movie. I think Mina is so talented. It's just a bummer that he's not getting roles after being in $1 billion film. That blows my mind that he's not getting offers left and right. So I would love to see a second one.
I really thought I would have put money. I would have put money that he was going to be Ezra in the Ahsoka show. I thought Mina Massoud was perfect to play Ezra. And there were even some whispers and reports that he was going to play Ezra. Now apparently he's not. I mean, I don't know, but I thought he would have been perfect for that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Things were starting to look good for an Aladdin sequel, and now the star of Aladdin himself, Mina Massoud, is saying, doesn't look likely at this point. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you want to see a sequel? I know I would. What do you think changed? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass offers classes on a wide variety of topics, all taught by world-class instructors at the very top of their fields. Each class is broken out into individual video lessons, usually around 10 minutes long. And Masterclass is completely accessible on your phone, the web, smart TV, and available via audio mode to listen to classes on the go. They have over 2,500 video lessons from over 180 of today's most brilliant minds. They're all available anytime, anywhere on iOS, Android, desktop, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Now, obviously around here on the John Campea Show, we love our movies, so why not learn filmmaking from Jodie Foster, or maybe directing from Ron Howard himself, or the great Neil Gaiman doing his class on the art of storytelling. And you guys have heard me talk about my favorite class, Business Strategy and Leadership by Big Papa Iger himself, Bob Iger, the new and returning CEO of Disney. So guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Just go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.